Are you a part of Bachelor Nation? Are you excited about Katie Thurston's season 17 of The Bachelorette? Well, I know I am, and if you want to hear all about it, all the tea, all the drama that comes along with it, then you're in the right place. Stay tuned. Hi there, Simply Subbies. Welcome back to the Simply Stacy YouTube channel. Welcome to all the newcomers. My name is Simply Stacy, and this is a channel about lifestyle, fashion, and also pop culture. I am now entering the realm of Bachelor Nation reviews. I have been watching The Bachelor and The Bachelorette probably since season number 1, and if not, I definitely went back and watched it. So I know all there is to know about The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, and I'm a hopeless romantic at heart. I love love. So if you want to hear all the drama, all the tea, all the juice, all the gossip, then you guys are in the right place. Right now, we're about to get into it. So this is season 17 of The Bachelorette. We are on Katie Thurston's season. We are following up with the dismissal, I guess, of Chris Harrison over some controversial issues. And so now enters co-host Caitlin Bistro and Tayshia Adams, who are two former Bachelorettes. Tayshia was sort of kind of the very last one, but she did share her season with Claire, and that was a whole different situation. So I really wish I would have started back then because that was a little bit juicy. But she came in mid-season because Claire found her person on night 1, and she really didn't give any of the other guys any chances. So in comes Tayshia, and she left with her guy. Caitlin left with a guy. However, they did not end up working out, but she's actually engaged to another guy from Bachelor Nation. So, look, she just keeps it all in the family. But anyway, let's get to Katie's season. So, Katie is a contestant from Matt James' season of The Bachelor, which was the very last Bachelor season to commence and to finish and to go to completion. Katie was eliminated. If you guys remember from her entrance from the limousine, she brought out a sex toy. So they are really preaching this whole sex positive Katie, fun, funny, sex positive, like they are just hammering that into you. She's a down-to-earth girl. She mentions that time and time again, like, I'm just gonna be the same me, you know, just dressed up a little bit. I will say basic, like her attire even for night 1 to me was like but that's the vibe she's giving off. So if you guys like it, I love it, but it's not my personal style. Some of the other bachelorettes, especially on night 1, are like glammed out, bad dresses, like just bling. Just in my opinion, they are the stars of the show. But Katie is being more herself, and I guess that's also commendable. So yes, so let's get into it. So first up, Tayshia and Caitlin pull up in an old school car, drop top. They pull up, and Katie is not aware that they're going to be the host. She thinks she's doing this all along. They're, you know, chatting it up and like, oh, we're going to be the great co-host. They're wearing all black from head to toe, which I think is appropriate because they don't want to steal her shine. First of all, they are now celebrities in their own right, reality star celebrities in their own right. They're beautiful women. Now, they are both taken for sure, but I wouldn't want them to take away from Katie in her entrances and her limos and all that good stuff, which is great because they don't. They actually go in the house. Katie comes up in a limo. Katie goes outside. She's waiting like, oh, I can't believe I'm doing this all alone. Because normally, you know, Chris Harrison's there to welcome the Bachelor or the Bachelorette and, you know, tell them like what a great season it's going to be. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So then cue the new co-hosts, Tayshia and Caitlin. They're sneaking up on Katie to surprise her. And I do believe that they started filming before we even they even announced who the new co-hosts were going to be. So she probably didn't know. She could have known because Bachelor Nation is really small. Reality Steve, okay, like the day before the first episode aired, he was already spoiling the top 4 from Katie's season. I'm like, can we even get to the season? I have to stay off his page because I don't want any spoilers. So anyway, they surprise her. She's super excited. Girl gang, let's go in. Let's chat it up. We're going to give you some pointers. We're going to help you through the process. And I think that's a really cool vibe for it. They've been here before when she's starting to have her little, questions or concerns. They can give their take on it, how they got through it. And I think that's a really cool thing to have. So the ladies actually go back inside and Katie comes back out to meet the guys in the limos. I think that's perfect too because I didn't want them to be meeting with those ladies. Like I said, distraction, take their minds off of Katie and, this is her night, this is her season. Let's just focus on Katie. And Chris Harrison always leaves as well. Now, I do think when the limos pull up initially, he was there and then he leaves and then the guys get out. But the girls did not do that. They went away. But this was so funny to me, and maybe it's because they're not in a mansion, because we never really see Chris Harrison again until it's time for the next limo to pull up or when he comes inside to tell them, time for the final rose or it's cocktail hour or daytime, whatever. But Kaylin and Tayshia are in the window peeking out and watching her as the limos pull up, see who's coming out. They're curious too. They're excitable. They're probably reminiscing on when it was their turn. And so, that's all well and good. So I think that's kind of cool. They also pan back to them several times after she does her introductions or she meets someone, she looks back at them, she may give them thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever it is. And so I think it's kind of more interactive this season, which should be fun and should be cool. And they have some really good commentary, if I may say so myself. Okay, so let's get to the guys. So this is there are 30 guys. They did introduce, I believe, about 9 guys prior to the whole limo exiting situation. However, I'm not going to go over them because they did come again, so we can just talk about them when we get to them. Okay, so the first person out of the limousine was a guy named Thomas. He's 28 and he is from California. He's a real estate broker. He's tall, he's handsome, okay. When Katie sees him, she's like, do they all look like this? Because if so, I'm in trouble. So she's already like, okay, we're off to a good start. And I'll be honest, all of the guys were attractive. Like some seasons, you're like, ew, they could have got some cuter guys. But these guys are handsome. They're all, well dressed. And they're doing nice things career-wise. And I think they're all age appropriate. There weren't any that were like too young. I think on Matt James' season, there was, Kit was 20 and he was like 27, or she was just really young. And so there aren't any age inappropriate people, I guess I could say, because I think sometimes some people may not just be ready for marriage because that's what the show basically is about. Okay, there was an Aaron. He's 26. He's an insurance agent from San Diego. So also from California. When he leaves, she's like, he's hot. And then she does the 2 thumbs up to Tayshia and Kayla in the back. Andrew M., he is from Newport Beach. He is a deputy district attorney. So now we have a lawyer coming in. Next up was a David. He's 27. He was a technical product specialist. And he's from Nashville. Well, actually, he lives in Nashville, but he's originally from New York, and he had a whole little line about a New York minute, and I know anything can happen in a New York minute. It was a cute little saying. And when he leaves to turn around, Katie is like all tense. So I think she's very more vocal too. Like I said, some of the other cast members, they may say, wow, or I don't think they have as much commentary. Like she almost had something to say after every single guy that came up. So the fifth guy was a guy named Mike when he was 36. So he's one of the older guys. He's from Akron, Ohio, and he's a business owner. So he comes up and he gives her this watch of sorts. And he's like, it's a family heirloom. It's been in the family for like 200 years. And I just want you to have it. And she's looking like, okay. And then he's like, I'm kidding. I got this on sale somewhere. It didn't cost that much money. But the symbolism of it all is that, time is precious. We need to, make the most of our time. Okay, then number 6 was this guy named Trey. He's a software engineer, and he drove up in a pickup truck. So you got the ladies, Caitlin and Tage, like, oh my God, I love a guy in a pickup truck. And so Katie said that she got good vibes from him. Okay, next up, number 7 was a guy named Greg from New Jersey. He is 27 and he's a marketing rep. And Katie said he looks like an ex-boyfriend. I don't know if that's good or bad. So apparently he's her type. But she doesn't know if she wants to be dating someone that looks like an ex of hers, which is understandable. Okay, then number 8 was Gabriel. He's an entrepreneur from North Carolina. And he had this whole yoga vibe, breathing thing, like hugs are so important. We've been in quarantine. Let's just do this really good hug. And it was just like hugging tight, deep breath, inhale, exhale a few times. I guess she enjoyed it. And then she said, he's cute. And she turned around and she was like kind of gazing at him when he left. Now, he was a nice, attractive man. The hugging thing kind of threw me off. I'd have been like, okay, this is a bit strange. But Katie liked it, and that's all that matters. Next up was John. He's a bartender. He's 27, and he's from Pacific Beach, California. Number 10 was Garrett, a 29-year-old software marketing manager, also from California. Saline, California, I believe. Then there was Austin. He is a real estate investor, and he's 20, I believe he was 25. He's also from California. So there were a lot of people from California. I can't remember where Katie is from. Maybe she's from California. If you guys know, comment down below. I'll figure it out before the next episode. But yeah. Okay. Next was Marty from he was 25. And he is a dancer from Reno, Nevada. So, my little notes, I have the little eyes looking like side-eye. Because I think he's a exotic dancer. He did not say that. But I mean, Reno, male dancer. We'll find out. I'm sure we'll find out if he sticks around. Okay, number 13 was Landon, who is, it says a basketball coach from Dallas, Texas. Okay, and he's 25. Then we have Carl, who's a motivational speaker from Miami. They showed a clip of him early on speaking somewhere. Okay, then we have Josh, who is 25 from Miami, another Miami person. He's in IT. He's an IT consultant. So these guys, they're handsome, like I said, nicely dressed. They come in. They have their nice little, hi, this is who I am. This is where I'm from. Hope to see you inside. Nothing too outlandish, because we know how they can get on The Bachelor and The Bachelorette when they come up in these just weird things. Some things are just super weird. Some are kind of cute, But the guys I'm mentioning now, like I said, she liked them all. She's like, oh my God, like they just keep coming. They just keep coming. Number 15, we talked about Josh. He's 25. Okay, so number 16 was Andrew, who is a pro ball player. Now, he did come in an old school car that was chauffeured. Yeah, he was being chauffeured in this old school kind of classic car. And they did show him before too. So he's a pro ball player in Austria. And so when they showed his clip prior to this entrance, He was like fluently speaking another language, so that was kind of cool. And then when he came up to her, he had this like British accent, which I don't think that's what he was speaking. He's like, I'm from across the pond and all this stuff. She's looking at him kind of strange. Now, he's an African-American man, but we know that there are African-Americans or Black people in Europe. So she just was kind of looking at him kind of strange. And then he says, like, she's like, so you're from, he's like, no, I'm from Chicago. So he was putting on airs. He was like, being funny. She thought that was funny, hilarious. She's like, I knew you were lying. Like, it's quarantine. People aren't even traveling like that. So I didn't think you were really from, somewhere else. But the accent was good. So they had a cute little vibe. Okay. And then there is a Brandon. Brandon came on a moped. He's 26. And he's an auto part manager from Queens, New York. I mean, other than him coming on a moped, and I think she mentioned something about it. To me, Brandon was nothing to write home about. Okay, number 18 was Connor, who I believe is 28. He is a former baseball player. And so he did give her a cute little mitt. He said it was his glove from his Little League days, his first Little League game. And he thought since he would be catching feelings, he should bring a glove. And I thought that was kind of cute. I hope it's not his actual Little League one, because if they don't work out, I think she needs to get that back, because that's sentimental, But it's saying that he thinks that they really have a shot. And I would say a lot of the guys actually knew of Katie. So a lot of them said they came on her for the show. Normally in past seasons, I think except for Matt James, everybody kind of knew who he was too, because his was announced so early on. Due to the controversial, I guess not many people of color being in the lead role in Bachelor history. So they did announce Matt James really quickly after we just had a really tumultuous year concerning, racism and police brutality and stuff like that. So, and then they were just on the carpet. Like, a lot of the cast members were calling them out, and a lot of the viewers were calling them out. Like me, myself, I'm African American. I've been watching The Bachelor and The Bachelorette for years. I loved when Rachel, the first African American or the first Black woman lead Bachelorette, came on. And then again with Tayshia, and then with Matt. Like, he was the first Black man in the entire franchise history, and that's saying a lot. But anyway, people knew who he was, so people came on there for him. In other cases, there may be a few people who watched seasons prior and saw them on it, because I will give you a tidbit if you do not know, if you're new to this whole Bachelor Nation thing. Back in the past, they didn't reutilize the cast members. That happens like a while later, but they would just always have like well-to-do men who would be like the lead, and then they would get all these women, or if it was the Bachelorette season, a woman. Now, I think when they started doing the Bachelorette season, they did kind of start recycling and pick somebody from a previous season to be the next one. But before, they would pick brand new people each and every time. But anyway, so they would watch it and they'd be like, oh, I loved you on Matt's season or whatever. So a lot of people liked Katie. They liked her sex positive. And so there were a lot of sexual innuendos going on and jokes and things like that, because that's who she came on the show as a jokester with her sex toy. Okay, so next up was Kyle. He's 26 and he was a technical recruiter. And he's from Fort Lauderdale. Then there was Hunter. So Hunter was a software strategist from Houston, Texas. Okay, so number 21. Now we get to the weird. So a humongous gift box is being rolled up, like package wrapped. So I'm like, okay, the guy is in the box. He comes, he speaks through the box. Hi, if you want to unwrap your gift, you have to see me inside. Okay. She's like, are you going to get out of the box? So then the ladies are in the window like, wait till he's ready. Just wait till he's ready. So they roll him out and into the party. She never sees his face. I'm like, that is strange, but okay. So just remember to go in and unwrap him. We later find out who was actually in that box. But he did tell her his name was James, so we got that much. Okay, number 23 was Brendan. And he's 26, and he is in training to be a firefighter, and he is a Canadian. So he's from Canada, and he's a firefighter trainee. Okay, and I think he said he was an athlete before, but then he decided to just stop that because he really wanted to be a firefighter. Okay, the 24th person was Marcus, a real estate broker, and he was 30, so another older one. I think there's a 36-year-old and a 30-year-old. The rest of them in their mid to late 20s. And when he walks away, she says, "Why are y'all so hot? God," like, it's just like she's really attracted to her group of guys, which is cool. I'll say it's also a very diverse cast. Like we said, she went on Matt James' season, and he was the first Black Bachelor, and so she is open to interracial dating, so that's cool. So she does have a diverse cast. Okay, 25 is Mike. He was a gym owner from San Diego, California, and he's 31, so also in his 30s. 26 was Cody. He's a 27-year-old, and he's a zipper salesman. I have no idea what that is. I really want to know. If you guys know what a zipper salesman is, please put that in the comments below, guys, because I want to know. Also from San Diego, and he did really well. He was looking nice, dressed nice, came out and talked to her, and he's like, "I forgot something in the car during quarantine, you know, this person there's somebody that I've been, you know, very intimate with, been helping me get through and all this stuff." He goes back to the limo and comes out with the blow-up doll. Okay, sir. But Katie thinks it's funny because remember, she brings her sex toy and introduces herself to Matt. It was funny, but it was like now they're going to overly do the sex positive thing. And so apparently he's seen her season, or at least read that about her. So he brings his blow-up doll to the party. I was like, Cody, you were doing so well. You were doing so well. But in Katie's eyes, guess what, guys? He's still doing well. Okay, number 27 is Justin. Justin is an investment sales consultant from Baltimore, Maryland. And he just kept talking about stroking, and this is what he's been doing over quarantine. And we're looking like, okay. And I mean, he just went on and stroking. He said it probably about 5 times. So then he pulls out of his pocket, goes into his pocket and pulls out a paintbrush. So they did show him before the limos came up, and they showed him he's an artist, even though he's an investment sales consultant from Baltimore, Maryland. He's also an artist. Said he was an artist since he was 5 years old. He was painting her a picture. It was like roses shaped in the form of a heart. It was really nice. Looks like he's a really good artist. And so she thought that was funny. Again, with the sexual innuendos, they just kept coming at this point. Next up was Christian, a real estate agent from Boston, Massachusetts, and he has a lamp. And he's like, "I don't know if there's a genie in here, but hopefully we can rub one out together." And so Katie cracks up. She's like, "Oh, if you can make me laugh at this point, you know, you're doing it right. You got it going on." So she's liking it. And like I said, they're just preaching this whole sex positivity thing. It's almost like Colton's season, where they just kept talking about his virginity forever. Or Pilot P, who had been on Hannah's season previously, and they ended up, you know, becoming intimate, and he talked about it. And so then he was just, oh, you know, he's very sexual just because he had talked about it one time. So they just will pick something and play up on it. And Katie's is her sex positivity. I don't know, guys. What's the word? Her sex positiveness? That's probably more accurate. Okay, so then comes Courtney with a Q. Quartney. I was reading it. I'm like, now what is it? He's a 29th guy. He's 26 years old, and he is an entrepreneur, a nutrition entrepreneur. And he comes with a poem. And the poem was long, and it rhymed, and it was full of sexual innuendos. He is from Dallas, Texas, and she enjoyed the poem. So my opinion, he might be the only guy I didn't think his suit fit properly. It wasn't as tailored. And it's like he was tall, but his suit was super long and it kind of bunched around the bottom. There were some guys with this, they're doing that shorter suit. You can see all their ankles and maybe socks or just ankles. I'm not really a big fan of that, especially if they're too high. And there were a couple guys that were that because they were really all tall. Mostly all of them were tall. But yeah, so Courtney, 26. And then the 30th guy was Connor. Connor was 29. He's a math teacher. And he came in a cat suit, guys. A full-on cat suit, whisker, makeup, the little black on the nose. He's from Nashville, Tennessee. And when Katie sees him, she says, I think I'm in love. Because apparently she loves cats. She's a cat lady. And he knows this about her because, of course, like I said, they all kind of knew who was coming. They were coming on the show for. They really were feeling her. And so he comes in a crazy cat suit. And she loves it. Yeah. And he also is a musician because they showed him before, too. So he's also playing this little small baby banjo situation. Oh, I forgot. Trey in the pickup truck. Rewind. Trey, remember I told you guys he came in a pickup truck? He had a ball pit in the pickup truck. In the back. He was in the ball pit in the back of the truck. And he got out. Okay, guys. So we're done with the guys. They're finally here. They're all talking back and forth. Like, who's in this gift box? They're talking to the box. The box is just still talking back. But not coming up out of the box. So I'm like, this is getting weirder and weirder by the minute. Wonder which kind of creep is actually in the box, right? But we're gonna see. So Katie says she feels there's some potential there because the ladies come out, Tasha and Kaylin, asking like, oh, do you think you've met your husband? And unlike Claire, who was like, oh my God, I've met him. Like, soon as Dale walked up, she's like, I think I've met my husband. They're still technically together, so that's a good thing. But Caitlin's like, I think there's potential. They're like, yeah, we see a lot of potential because, they still women. They might be taking honey, but they can see a nice looking man and they can spot him a mile away because they were way in the... Where are they? They're at some kind of resort. I can't remember where they are exactly. I probably wrote it down somewhere else. Let's see where they are. Somebody mentioned it. One of the guys mentioned where they were. I'll let you guys know. But yeah, so anyway, Katie says that. So she goes in. She says, there's always a speech, right? You have to have this speech. She's like, listen, I'm not perfect. I had thought about writing this perfect speech so I can be well prepared. But I'm not perfect. That's not who I am. I don't want you guys to be perfect. I want you to be yourselves. So it's all in line with who Katie is. And so they toast to cheers to love. Basically, that's what they went with. Okay, so then the first guy she sits down to talk to is the basketball player from Austria, the pro ball player who had the British accent, and they talk about that. They have really good chemistry, they're vibing. She really had good chemistry with all the guys. I'm not gonna lie, she really did. Oh, I forgot the one guy that came up in the RV. There was a guy who drove up in an RV, and he was like, they say home is where the heart is, and so I brought my home, and hopefully you'll be my heart. Which could be cute, right? Okay. Keep listening. Okay, so she talks to him, and the British accent, they go back and forth. She does him a cute little, say something to him in her little British accent, and it's a cute little vibe. Okay, then there's Thomas. He's so tall, guys. He's like super tall. I'm like, wow, he's so tall. She's impressed by him. She thinks he's a nice person. And then, okay, there's this guy with this long earring. I don't remember his name, but there wasn't very much to that conversation. Next up is Greg. Now, Greg was really nice, and he told her that it may be too early to give you a gift, but I have a niece, and she's in high demand. She makes jewelry. She's this waiting list, and, I talked to her, and I got you in. And I said, can you make this for Katie? And so she made this necklace, and it was this pasta necklace, guys. And he said his niece is 3 years old, so it was super cute. He gave it to her. She enjoyed it. He was really nervous, and she really liked him. Then there was the hockey player, the Canadian. So he used to play hockey. That's what it was. And then he wants to be a firefighter. So they talk. He's out there playing hockey. She's playing hockey with him outside. And then all the guys come out and join them. But they had a good time as well. She had his jacket because it was probably chilly outside. So she had his jacket on. He did give her that, which is nice. Okay, then next up is Trey. Trey's the guy who came in the pickup truck. So he did come in the pickup truck and the ball pit. So he takes her out to the ball pit. They get in with their glasses, their wine, and she had a glass of wine, I believe, or champagne. And then he had like a real drink, gin, I think a tonic. And so that was a cute little day in the ball pit. And she's like, oh, I feel like a kid. He's like, yeah, it's every have drinks. It's a little bit of both. He was like high energy for sure. I think she mentioned that as well. Super excitable. That's what I said. Like super excited. High energy. Super energy. I'm trying to think of the guy from Tayshia's season that he reminds me of with his just super excited. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. Okay. Next up was Justin. Justin is the artist who was painting. So he presents her with a painting, and it's roses in the shape of a heart. The center of the heart, the red roses, the center of the heart is like white, just a white blank space. And he said, that's the void that I've been having. I hope you can feel it. And maybe as time continues day by day, I can continue the painting and finish it. And that was super cute. And like I said, it was a nice painting. And they have their first kiss. Katie has her first kiss on the show, and he is her first kiss. Seems like she enjoyed the kiss. Okay, then of course they put the first impression rolls out, and all the guys are like, oh my god, is it gonna be me? I hope it's me. You have the guys that are like, oh my god, I still haven't talked to her. Okay, next up is Carl. Remember, he's the motivational speaker, and he has this really cute, I don't know if you've ever been to a theme park, but like the theme park maps. So, like, they have the little spots, and they have, like, the little caricature people on it. So, he had one made that said, The Adventures of Katie and Swizz. So, I guess that's his nickname. And it was really cute. I thought it was a really cute idea. She liked it, and he was showing her different places and different things. Then the RV guy. I cannot remember what his name was, but RV guy comes and brings her to the RV. She gets in the RV. It's an old school RV. There's nothing updated about it. There's nothing modern on the outside. And in the inside, he's like, wait till you get in the inside. Gets in the inside. Here's a veggie tray on the table. His like clothes are just on the couch. He's moving them out the way so she can sit down. She's like, ew. But he's all like, yeah, this is how Katie is. She's just, ordinary girl. She'll like this. She's old school. Katie don't like it. She doesn't like it. She's not into it at all. She's like, I'm not feeling the RV. She didn't tell him this, but she definitely says it in the confessional. So, RV guy, it's bad. It's real bad. Okay, next, there are two guys that are saying, like, this was the oddest thing. There's these two guys standing in the cut somewhere. It's getting dark outside, talking, and the one guy's like, I just don't like you, bro. I don't like you. I'm never going to like you. And all this stuff, and then the other guy's just sitting there like, well, I don't agree with anything you're saying. So I don't know, they must have some kind of a connection outside of the show, and I think that will probably play out later on, but in the moment, we have no idea what is going on. Super odd. The box is still there. Guys, the box is outside. So the box finally, no, I don't even think the box opens at this point, but they're talking to the box, which is odd. Okay, so then finally the two guys bring the gift box in. And out pops this super handsome guy. Super tall. Just like very attractive. Has on a nice suit tailored to a T. Looking real good. Looking probably better than some of the guys that were there. And they all look really good. So he pops out, which is weird because I just knew it was some creep in the box. And the guys are like, oh my God, who is that guy? I've never seen him. Put him back in the box. I thought that was so funny. They like, oh, he competition. Put him back in the box. But this is James. Okay. Then the cat guy actually has a date with her. And, like, I'm going to know their names by, like, probably next week or the week after. But right now, I don't know their names. They just get nicknames. They may have them the whole season. If you don't mind, keep watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell so you can always be notified when I post, because I will be posting these on a weekly basis. You don't want to miss out. You want to see what my recap sounds like. Because, I mean, why not? Okay, so Cat Guy comes. They're talking. They're having this the movie Big, where the guy's like a kid. Is it Tom Hanks? I don't remember. But he's like in the toy store and they're playing with their feet on the keyboard, like this huge keyboard. So they're doing that and they're playing like Bad Bad Black Sheep, right? So I thought it was cute. They had fun. He's still in his cat suit, guys. Still in the cat suit. He seems super nice. He seems kind and caring. Katie picks up on this. He goes in for the kiss. And when I say they make out, he had given her cat ears and little paws to match his. And she loves it like she loves everything about cats. They make out, real make out. He pulls away and is like, oh, I hope I don't get my whiskers on you. She has black all over her nose, whiskers on her face. And they make out again. Like, she is feeling Cat Guy. She pulls off his cat hat. Now, mind you, she hadn't done any of this before. She pulls off the hat of the cat suit and she realizes, like, oh, you're actually kind of cute. Which he is. He's a cute guy. He's the math teacher. And I feel like they kiss again, and then that's that. Okay, so next up, Michael A. He comes, they chat, they bond over his dog. His dog's name is Tommy, and so is her cat. So the tale of two Tommies. That was something they had in common. And he also lets her know that she's like, oh, you must miss him because, you know, I miss my fur baby. And he was like, well, actually, I have a 4-year-old son and I really do miss him. But I saw you. I knew it was going to be you. I thought this would be a good opportunity. And so I do. She's like, so he's like, so I am away from my child. And she's like, oh my God, how often do you get to see him? He's like, I get to FaceTime him daily. He's with his grandparents. He's having a good time. They're, traveling and doing good stuff. So she's like, okay, I don't feel as bad. And he goes in for the really hard question that you really need to get up front when you're a single parent, sacrificing your time to meet this person. Like, are you open to a person with kids and all this stuff? And I don't know about how I feel about her answer. It was like, well, I'm open to that. Or I'm just kind of open in general, like, because he was like, I think you'd be a good mom. And she's like, well, yeah, either that or however they come to me, whether it's someone else who already has kids or whether they don't want kids at all. She's okay with any of it. So I'm like, so then do you really want kids or you just going along to get along? Because, I mean, it's okay to not want kids. But if you're okay with someone that doesn't want kids at all, then maybe you just don't want kids. Or I don't know. What do y'all think about that? Comment down below. What are your thoughts on that whole kid situation or question? But I would have been probably side-eyeing her like, if I was a single dad. Okay, so then there's the first impression rose. So Katie goes to grab it. Of course, she grabs it in a room with the guys where she's not going to give it to any of them. So she leaves. So they're all like dejected and like, oh, it would have meant so much if she would have given it to me. Yeah. So the guy, Greg, who gave her the pasta necklace from his 3-year-old niece is who she gives the rose to. She goes and picks him. And I really liked him. They have their first kiss, which was nice. They seemed to like it. They were both kind of giddy. Remember, he was the nervous one. And I think she just really wanted to reassure him. And she kind of said that in her speech to him. And then, cue the co-hosts. So Tasia and Caitlin come in. I think this may be the first time that the guys are seeing them. They let them know it's time for the rose ceremony. So the guys all go get ready. Then, let's see. I'm trying to think about this in terms of how it used to be with Chris Harrison. So they're both there. Caitlin starts first, like, whenever you're ready, this is the rose ceremony. Katie gets started. And then, Tasia comes in at the end. It was like, this is the final rose, and say your goodbyes and all that. So they kind of share that roster. The guy Thomas, I don't know if you guys saw this or spotted this or know what he looks like, but he kind of reminds me of Pilot Pete. Like a darker featured Pilot Pete. Super tall, but his facial features to me kind of look like Pilot Pete, except Pete's hair was lighter. His features, his skin tone was a little bit lighter. I know he's Cuban, I believe. But this guy has darker hair, darker undertones. But he does remind me of him. So the last rose actually goes to Cody. And I believe Cody might have been one of the guys who was in the argument with the other guy. Strange. And I think that guy got the rose right before him. I can't recall. But yeah, guys, let me tell you who I think went home. I think only 3 people were eliminated from what I saw when they were giving her hugs on the way out the door. I may be wrong. If I am, I will kind of insert something here. But it seems like she said, these are my top 22. But I don't think that many people gave her a hug goodbye. When I was watching them leave, I only counted 3. It was the RV guy for sure. It was the guy with the earring. I mean, you know, I told you I didn't get goodbyes from that. Not from the earring, but just him in general. And then the moped guy also went home. He was more of a, like, rocker type, like dark features. I don't know, but he went home. Those are the 3 that I counted that went home. And then for this upcoming season, it looks like there's going to be so much drama I cannot wait to get into. There were tears. There were ambulances. There was I love you from Katie. I heard it outright. There was Claire and Tayshia's guy coming back, Blake. Y'all remember Blake? Well, he's back. Remember, he was the guy kind of initially who I didn't think was even going to stay through Tayshia's season because he was so into Claire, even though she wasn't into anybody but Dale. And then he's like, I don't know if I can get over it. I kind of still have feelings for Claire. And he had reached out to Claire prior to the show in her DMs. And he was like, you know, something about your mom. And, you know, I just wanted you to know that something I can remember. She said she never messaged him back, but he did message her. And she really appreciated it. So that guy, Blake, comes back for Katie. I don't know how far along, because remember last season, Heather came back from Hannah B's season. She was on there with her and Hannah B for, who were they going? Was it Colton season? I think it was Colton. Either way, she came from Matt and Matt sent her home. So I don't know if Katie will do the same thing because she was on Matt's season and Matt sent her home. But there have been seasons where people have come and they've let them stay. So I don't know if Blake's going to stay or not. What are your thoughts? Let me know. Put it in the comments below. I cannot wait for this season. It looks like it's going to be entertaining. Katie is definitely entertaining. Tayshia and Kaylin's participation. And I think I see Nick Viall, he was another contestant on The Bachelorette, and then he became the Bachelor at some point down the line. So it looks like there's going to be some appearances from other Bachelor Nation cast members. And yeah, I'm so excited, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share my video. And don't forget to come back next time. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. Until next time, see ya.